Hello, Cowboys Nation! Let's go for another round of news! But first, leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news from your team. Cowboys news: some salary cap maneuvers may be in store for Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys don't have many holes to fill during the NFL offseason. The biggest problem Dallas may have is on the offensive line, where Tyron Smith and Tyler Biadasz are expected to become free agents. Dallas can justify losing some of its other free agents, including running back Tony Pollard, so that it can improve in those positions. Dallas has two options when it comes to the offensive interior. It can keep Smith and Biadasz or rebuild the offensive line through the NFL draft and free agency. The Cowboys don't have much salary cap space to use in free agency, so getting young prospects on cheaper deals through the draft may be their best acquisition method this offseason. Smith is their 14th overall free agent. That could lead to a big payday elsewhere, or a shorter deal to stay in Dallas in pursuit of a title. The Cowboys had 8 players earn more than $10 million last season, including Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Trayvon Diggs. Smith won't be added to that list in 2024 due to the team's salary cap restrictions. Dallas would love Smith to anchor the offensive line again, but if a candidate comes along with a big contract offer, it could mean the end of his time with the Cowboys. It would be great to keep Tyler Biadasz's familiarity with Prescott and the rest of the offensive line. However, an extension has yet to be made, and with a no-trade clause and a no-tag clause in his current deal, Dallas runs the risk of losing Prescott for a mere compensatory pick. There is a chance that the two parties will enter next season without an extension. That doesn't necessarily mean that the Cowboys will be subject to that exorbitant price. As Michael Gelkin pointed out, automatic conversion, or what we've long called pushing a button, allows teams to turn part of a player's salary into a bonus, which for cap purposes is spread out over the entire length of the contract. Again, the phraseology we often use when the Cowboys do this, usually converting base to bonus. With 2-0 years, largely a formality to help teams manage the cap, attached to Prescott's deal, nearly $28 million of his salary can be converted and thus rolled over to the next 3 seasons at just over $9 million per year. Some mathematical calculations say that this would free up a maximum of $18.53 million and bring his cap hit to $40.93 million, less than other stars like Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen and Los Angeles Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford. And as a technical but surprising detail, as Gelkin points out, Dallas would pay Prescott the $29 million owed, most of it in bonuses, but could make Dak's base salary only $1.21 million. Once again, a maths trick, but one that catches the eye. I think the most important thing for Tyron is, talking about the trajectory of the season and the training plan that was in place for him, this is clearly the best season I've experienced with him since 2020, McCarthy said on Thursday at his final press conference of the season. So he felt good about it. I think the fact that he doesn't go into the offseason with offseason surgeries is a plus. We'll keep talking as we go along. Whether he returns or not, it would make sense for Dallas to prioritize long-term stability at the left tackle position. The Cowboys could also use an improved run blocker. Here are some options at that spot. Amarius Mims, listed at 6'4" and 340 pounds, allowed just 7 quarterback pressures and no sacks on 377 total pass blocks in 30 games, 8 as a starter, at Georgia. "I still believe in Dak," said Aikman, speaking at an event honoring the city of Dallas for being recognized as the #1 city for sports business by the Sports Business Journal. "I feel that until you do that, there will always be those criticisms." Peyton Manning heard that in his first 3 years he didn't win a playoff game, and then you look back and you can't imagine that anyone would question whether or not he could win a playoff game. Prescott and the Cowboys have won the NFC East title in 2 of the last 3 seasons, with a regular season record of 36-15, but are now also 1-2 in the tournament that followed. Their loss to the Green Bay Packers was as demoralizing a defeat as you'll see, and the blame can be spread almost evenly across the board: offense, defense, special teams, and coaching, raising questions about whether Prescott, who produced a breakthrough MVP season before the offense went out of business in January, can end the Super Bowl drought that dates back to Aikman's days in the driver's seat. "I know we all build on our past experiences," Aikman said. And when you don't have great experiences, they get hard to overcome, and I think that's Dak's challenge. The question for him, and really for the team, is not so much what happens in the regular season, but how you play when you get to the postseason. That makes it a long year when that's how it works. And I've been there too, when expectations are high. The Cowboys have been through this early on in their franchise history, so the pressure is on, for sure, as they go into this offseason and next season. It makes it hard to come back and put yourself in a position to do it all over again. 2024 NFL Draft, best draft picks for the Cowboys in each position on defense. The evaluation process leading up to the 2024 NFL Draft is still in the early stages, but each of us still has favorite candidates we'd love to see end up with the Dallas Cowboys. That's part of the reason why the draft process is so much fun. Everyone can compare notes and share who they'd like to see wearing the star in the not-too-distant future. With that in mind, here are some early favorites for the Cowboys to add on the defensive side of the ball. These selections are based on the current needs of the Cowboys roster and how each prospect fits the parameters the organization normally follows. We hope this is as realistic as possible, as well as making it a little more challenging. Micah Parsons 2.0? Probably not, but Chop Robinson is undoubtedly the most nervous pass rusher in the entire 2024 draft class. His explosiveness, bend, and ability to convert speed into power on the first step gave offensive tackles fits during his time at Penn State, and there's no reason to believe his game won't translate to the next level either. While the Cowboys' roster needs may force them to go in a different direction early in the 2024 NFL Draft, the best player available approach could lead them to another stud pass rusher. Adding him to the mix with Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Sam Williams could give Dallas the most fearsome pass rush they've ever had. It's no secret that the Dallas Cowboys could improve their interior defensive front, especially with Jonathan Hankins and Neville Gallimore possibly leaving via free agency. Hopefully, Motzie Smith can bounce back after a rather disappointing debut season, but Dallas wouldn't be wise to rely on that alone. An upgrade is needed. Braden Fisk isn't going to win any popularity contests, yet he could be exactly the kind of DT prospect the Cowboys' defense needs. His relentless motor and I want more attitude could infect the rest of the defense. He's also versatile in alignment as a 1 or 3 technique and possesses the strength, power, burst, and energy to play right away. The Cowboys' linebacker position was hit hard by injuries last year, and their current depth in the offseason doesn't inspire much confidence either. They have last year's third-round draft pick, DeMarvion Overshown, returning from his season-ending injury, which will help, but more depth and potential upgrades are still needed. If you've made it to the end, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any news from your team. Thank you.